From the Toyota Sports Desk, NewsWatch 12 Sports with Madyson Marie.
2-0. That's how Southern Oregon football woke up feeling Monday morning. Coming off just the 5th time in program history, the Raiders have reached the 70-point mark. Saturday's 70-7 victory over Simpson also gave SOU a bump in the NAIA polls from 23 to now number 20. In Reading, the Raiders finished with 636 yards of offense, the highest total in 8 years. 449 of those came in just the first half when SOU hit the end zone on their first 8 drives of the game. Well, as an offensive performance Burke Brown's staff dreams of, SOU defense also rose to the occasion, forcing 3 and outs on 6 of the Red Hawks' first 8 possessions. That 2-0 feeling is good for the Raiders as they head into preparing for the 9th-ranked College of Idaho. Coach on his offensive performance and what's next for SOU.
That job in week 1, taking the top off of coverages and spread the ball out, not just horizontally, but we didn't spread it out vertically at all. So that was something that we wanted to focus on. I wanted to show our guys to believe in the deep ball, and it's something that we did, for the rest of the night after that first play. It's the biggest game because we're involved in it, and we're not trying to downplay the fact that this is a big game, but we're also not trying to overplay it and make it something that it's not.
So here's a look at the new top 25. Southern Oregon sitting at number 20, 3 spots up from last week's 23rd ranking. College of Idaho dropped 6 spots to 9 after losing to Montana Western. Those Bulldogs jumping up to number 4. Montana Tech also climbing 3 spots to number 12. And the Raiders return home for week 3 to face a foe they get pretty hyped for. Raider Stadium will host number 9 College of Idaho. Reminder, the Yotes took game 1 against the Raiders last season, but SOU battled back at the end of the year, defeating COI at Raider Stadium 31-16. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. Highlights and more on game night. It's a blessing and a curse having a short memory, but in college football, it's a must. Oregon State lost its first game of the season Saturday by 35 points to Oregon. And as we enter week 4 of the season, the Beavers have another test at home. Not only another Big Ten opponent in Purdue, but also how does Trent Bray respond after his first loss as head coach? During his Monday press conference, Coach Bray said everything is week to week, whether you win or lose, whether you play well or you don't, you have to flush it. So switching over to their opponent this week, Purdue is 1-1 this season, coming off a 66-7 loss to Notre Dame. The all-time series tied at 1 win apiece. The last time they played, 2021, a 30-21 loss for Oregon State. Coach Bray on what he sees on film.
You're going to look at Purdue. Again, big physical Big Ten team. They do a good job running the ball, different gap schemes. They're physical on defense, well coached on defense, so it'll be a good challenge. We definitely got to take another step, but we'll be ready to go Saturday. Good quarterback, good running backs. They've got good receivers, tall. They got length at receiver. So I think it's another just good challenge of a very talented team.
Meanwhile, for the Ducks, their first bye week of the season comes before they enter conference play. For the second week in a row, Oregon football took home Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week. Last week, it was Tez Johnson. This week, kicker Atticus Sappington wins the honors for his performance against his former team. Sappington went 2 of 2 on field goals and 5 for 5 on extra points. And because it's a bye week, head coach Dan Lanning will not hold his usual Monday night press conference.